What's up, everyone? I'm here to talk about a time in my life where I had to reevaluate everything I knew about a chronic illness. And to be honest, the experience was pretty transformative. So yeah, I'm here to talk about a transformative learning experience. But first, I want to share a little background about myself to kind of put the story into context. Growing up, I had a pretty normal childhood. Friends, family vacations, school, the whole nine. Shortly after high school, I became really into fitness. I had always been overweight and I loved the new attention that I was getting now that I was in shape, so naturally I kept up with this lifestyle. I became obsessed with being in shape. I was taking multiple supplements and work out for hours at a time. However, I think this is where my problems originate from. I guess it's kind of like my trigger moment. Although I didn't really recognize this at the time. I was definitely not a health expert, and when I looked in the mirror, I liked what I saw, so I considered what I was doing to be pretty healthy. What I wasn't taking into consideration was the impact that it was having on my mental health. I was stressed constantly, and not only about my weight, but my performance in school, and the constant feeling of playing catch up with all my friends who seemed to be having more success than me at the time. Needless to say, I was a ticking time bomb, and in the summer of 2012, I finally exploded. I was diagnosed with something that's known as ulcerative colitis. I'll spare you the details, but it's basically an autoimmune disorder that affects the digestive system that has no cure. No cure.
Does not compute.
Imagine me being in the best shape of my life, sitting in the doctor's office, only to hear that I have a disease that has no cure. I didn't want to believe it. I was devastated. I was broken. And most of all, I felt like my life was over. I'll never be able to eat the same foods that I once did. I'll never be able to participate in the same activities that I once did. And worst of all, I had to live with the constant threat of the fact that I could have an accident at any minute. It's not that I didn't know that there were diseases out there in which a cure doesn't exist. However, I thought those were really only things you got when you were really old or really unhealthy, or maybe you were just born with it. Almost a year later, after I got over my why me phase, I started to accept that this was my new reality. No sooner than I came to terms with my condition, I realized that I wasn't alone. There's a huge community of individuals online that were going through the same feelings that I had and the same problems that I was going through. They were eating healthier versions of the food that I thought I was never going to be able to eat again, and living their lives to the fullest. All the while they were offering support to their fellow IBDers. I began to feel more comfortable with my condition and more willing to accept the change that comes along with it. I think the learning that occurred that transformed my life the most was the fact that life doesn't really care what age you are or how healthy you are. It could still throw you a curveball at any moment. When I realized this, I finally understood the saying that it's not what happens to you in life, but it's what you do when it happens. I could have let this defeat me, but I chose to overcome it, and I chose to learn how to fit my lifestyle into this new kind of realm that I wasn't used to dealing with. Knowing that I had to go to doctor's appointments, and knowing that there's things that I can't eat because it could upset my stomach, and realizing that I'm gonna have this condition for the rest of my life was something that was very difficult for me to navigate through and come out on the other side. So thanks again for watching this video. I just wanted to share my transformative life experience with you all, and hopefully you were able to take something away from it.